It is Monday, August 29th. We have beef, butter, bacon, and eggs starting in just 2 days. And I'm going to head into Fresh Market because it is my understanding from Joe down in Pembroke Pines that Fresh Market has buy one, get one free bacon every Monday. So we're going to go load up. Okay, I got my bacon. I bought 10 pounds of bacon. This is only 50% of it, but it was kind of funny. So I went in and I said to the butcher, hey, I need 10 pounds of the bacon. It's buy one, get one free. And he was like, excuse me? And I'm like, yeah, I need 10 pounds of bacon. And he was like, 10 pounds. I'm like, yes, I need 10 pounds of bacon. And he's like, hold on, I'm going to have to go in the back. And he goes in the back and he pulls out all the rest of it. And he starts measuring it up. He's like, why do you need so much bacon? And I'm like, well, I'm going to be eating probably about a pound a day, maybe a little bit less. And I got the normal response. That is not healthy. You're going to be in an early grave. And I'm like, no, I've been eating this way for a while. He was like, I don't understand how you could be eating that much bacon. And this lady behind me, who I have no idea who she was, just said to him, he's a keto YouTuber and he has lost a lot of weight eating a lot of bacon. Turns out her name is Marie. I've never seen her before. Don't know who she was, but thank you, Marie, for having my back. But I'm super excited. I'm going to go home, going to divvy this up. We're probably going to fry up 2 or 3 pounds and just have it made up. It'll make it easier for breakfast and stuff.
Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto on the Couch. We just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time I have clear coffee, also known as water, for breakfast, you'll be alerted to it.
It's been a hot minute since we've done one of these sit-at-home vlogs.
I know, I'm actually really excited about this. I wish I felt a little better, but I'm feeling a little bit junky today.
What did you do?
Probably like a lot of people, in anticipation for this being day 1 of Triple B&E. Last night I had something I don't normally have, which is a lot of flippin' dairy.
Yeah.
Just a lot. I had cheese, we had heavy whipping cream. I even had some like cheese stuffed peppers that are like marinated. And I feel all of the bloating that you do when you eat something that you don't normally eat.
And it wasn't really like a binge thing. The last couple days have been like just a lot. We've had a lot going on, trying to get this ready, working on the course, the launching of our podcasts, which when you are seeing this, we are on all podcast platforms under the name Two Crazy Ketos, but you got to put a space between two and crazy. Go do us a favor and listen to the podcast. Give us a 5-star review.
Please.
And put down like a nice thing in there so that we can get to the top of the charts with podcasts. And we're really, really excited about it. Cool podcast coming out, but it has resulted in us like
OMADing, chicken wings,
and we had like half a thing of heavy whipping cream,
leftover.
All of that stuff, and we're like, well, I want to go through it. We wanted ice cream last night. We're like, I really want one more ice cream before it, and I didn't have any creamies ready, so
on purpose
used the heavy whipping cream.
It tasted
as ice cream.
Delicious at the time, but again, my body is not used to it. And so I got on the scale because this is the day I'm weighing and then not weighing the rest of the time. Okay, now I've consistently been 154 pounds for a while now, but thanks to last night's debacle, 157. So that's what I'm starting with. 157.
Now it's just bloat though, you know that.
157.2, but here's the thing. I don't get to test later.
Right.
I don't get to see like what happens after I go to the bathroom and then start that like weird dialogue with myself, right? It's just, hey, you're starting the challenge. Day 1, this is what it looks like. move on.
We are prepped.
We're ready. Okay, we'll see you in 30 days.
Only about a third of the bacon that I bought. We already used a bunch of it, and then Anthony found it. And then there's another whole 5-pound package. But I have a feeling we're going to be doing a fresh market run every Monday.
Oh, yeah, especially if there's a good deal.
Yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of this. We're going to do some meal prepping later. And then I'm ready for this. Are you ready?
That is a lot of Nespresso. Wow.
Can I do this and make it stand? Look at that. Oh, I
Dun,
did
dun,
it.
dun. It's the Tower of Espresso.
The Tower of Nespresso.
I'll put the antennas on.
Those were free.
I like that.
The only reason I bought so much Nespresso is that our American Express card was doing a deal where, you know, if you spent X amount of money, you got some back, and it was like 25% of the money came back. I'm like, okay, so you do the deal where you get the extra sleeves and then get money back from American Express, which basically gave you like a 30% discount.
I think that
it was worth it.
This is coffee prep for the Triple B&E challenge. The reason being, we feel like it's going to be easier for us to stick to a reasonable coffee size if we're utilizing these, because we had to pay money, not like as, you know, like cheaper versions of, you know, Costco coffee.
Right.
Or something.
And so for us, here's what we're doing with our coffee.
Organizing it, apparently.
Well, I want to say this is what we're doing with our coffee experience. So our coffee experience is when we sit down and have our cup of coffee. And some people have asked inside of our course, which if you didn't know, we do have a 30-day course, which even if you're starting late, you can still start. We're going to actually do the weekly check-ins inside of the course all the way through like October 17th.
Yeah.
So I'll leave a link for that down below. It is not mandatory to do the course. You can do beef, butter, bacon, and without it. We just have extra lessons and weekly live check-ins on Crowdcast. But one of the things that has come up is like, how long should my coffee experience be? Like, can I make a pot or a cup and then sip on it for hours? And I'm going to say that's an end run around the rules.
Right. You need to kind of, you know.
I'd say an hour.
I think within the hour, you should be done. And anything else, like, you know, that would be me. I would make a giant pot of it.
Right.
And be like, okay, I'm going to keep drinking on this. And it would take me a couple of hours and say, well, that's just the one pot.
Right.
But I think that this is a better strategy. I want to go ahead and add my coffee into my meal. Right. This is a first for me. I do a lot of like standalone coffee first thing because I may not be ready for, you know, breakfast or lunch. And so we're trying this Triple B&E challenge with an eating window of 8 hours.
An 8-hour eating window, and we're including the coffee in there. Now, going back to the end run around the rules, it kind of reminds me of like when I was in Little League and I was coaching and also one of the umpires. Mm-hmm. I knew all of the little intricate rules that nobody knew. And so I would use those rules
in your favor?
Break the rules. Does that make sense? Well, I wasn't breaking the rules, but they were so technical that I knew the loopholes that were, you know, you have to understand what was the intent of the rule.
Right.
Well, I'm not technically breaking the rule, but I do know that I'm breaking what the intent of the rule was.
Okay.
Same thing with the coffee. The intent of 1 cup of coffee is not limiting ourselves to 8 or 12 or 24 ounces of coffee. It is limiting ourselves to not using this as a crutch to not eat. Does that make sense?
Well, and I think it's good to get in the habit of being focused in the moment and being present. And I'm very guilty of having a beverage on the side of the activity that I am doing. And I just keep reaching for it, but I'm not even enjoying it as much as I could be. Like, if this is my coffee experience, let me sit down and like have a moment in a comfy chair and you know, enjoy it. Or even if I'm at work, stop for a minute and be like, I have 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm allowed to go
give yourself that time.
I'm allowed to go to the restroom if I need to. I'm allowed to give myself 5 minutes and just have this coffee with my attention on the coffee and the flavor.
Yeah.
Now for me, I know that it feels weird right now to not have a coffee cup in my hand first thing, as soon as we sit down.
So we're going to break the habit with that.
So I am just using this one instance of water to help me just feel like this is the natural behavior.
Right.
But for the rest of the day, yeah, I'm interested to see when I'm actually thirsty versus even when I use water as a placeholder.
Yeah. By the way, side note, if you coach any sport, as a official, my greatest advice to you would be...
Know the rules?
Learn the rule book inside and out better than the official, because then you can legally cheat. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, real quick before we go, I wanted to show you. We are not affiliated with Nespresso at all. We make zero money.
We're making them
we just
money
enjoy it
with our money.
I like the fact that the pods are aluminum instead of plastic. And I know people will say something about the aluminum, but they had these 2 limited edition flavors. And I want to say, if you have Nespresso and you like unique flavors, this tropical coconut flavor over ice.
Very different.
It is amazing. You don't have to drink it over ice. It's like what their flavor is called.
Yeah.
And it is really good.
It is.
Really, really good. And then this was like a 2-ounce espresso. And it is, what is it called? Exotic lime over ice. It's unique.
It really is unique. I have never had coffee with like a lot of citrus flavors before. I've heard of people saying that they really liked citrus flavors with coffee.
Right.
But this is new for me, and it's good.
And then we got some chocolate.
Which is never a bad thing.
Okay, so here's the plan for today. It's a busy day, okay? Because also football season started for me yesterday. So we have to go work on a lesson for our course, our Triple B&E course. We have a review video that we can actually do in the middle of Triple B&E.
How cool.
We have a podcast to record. And then I need to go shopping. And then we have to do some meal prepping. We're doing a live check-in to launch day 1 of Beef Butter Bacon Egg for the course. And then we have a live stream tonight. Are you ready to get this day started?
I am definitely going to need this first coffee in the morning. Wow. I thought I would be standing with my foot tapping at 10 a.m.
I was surprised you weren't.
Right? But I wasn't. It is noon, yo. Noon.
Yeah.
12:10 to be exact.
I just finished editing one of the videos.
Take a fork.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're just passing them out.
Are you like looking at my food? Because you can't have any. And I look down, I'm like, oh, it's after 10 o'clock. And we haven't gotten in the shower yet, but she hasn't said anything. So we're going to keep going. So we're having some breakfast, and then we're going to go do some filming.
Now pass the salt.
And what we have here is we each have 3 eggs cooked on the Blackstone. And inside of the eggs is a combination of ground beef and ground lamb.
It is so good, and it's giving such a richness and greasiness to it. I almost am thinking to myself, there's like a cheesiness to it.
Wow.
And there's no cheese.
No, there's no cheese. But what I did was, when I scrambled the eggs, I scrambled them in the Vitamix, and I put like 2 tablespoons of butter in there. So that's bringing a lot of butteriness to the eggs.
I like that.
And then with the ground beef and the ground lamb, when I like cooked that up, I actually did that the other day. These are like leftovers. That had a whole bunch of Redmond salt, and then a little bit of the garlic seasoned salt, as well as like 3 or 4 tablespoons of butter in that as well, because our ground beef is very lean too.
My first experience. Well, my only experience,
Your
right?
only experience. Well,
My
I'm gonna
one
make
coffee experience.
I'm gonna make to go with this in a minute, like a shot of espresso, because again, for us, the coffee experience is like,
look how tiny my cup is.
It's gonna be smaller cups because if we're using an espresso, but we're like, so long as we're sitting down, we're gonna have this with the espresso, but we can't have the espresso in 2 or 3 hours or something like that. But it's a coffee experience, a shot in a cup.
Nice.
So Rachel's drinking black coffee. I don't know what the flavor was. I think it was just like a plain coffee. And then this was the custard coffee. Again, no sweetener, nothing like that in there. There is natural flavors in the beans. I don't worry about that. As well as 1 tablespoon of butter in mine. And then we have like a whole bunch of bacon.
A whole mess of bacon.
Yeah. So we're going to eat. Then we're going to go film. Then I'm going to go grocery shopping. And we're going to do some meal prep.
Got your quarter?
Got my quarter here.
We are here at Aldi's to see if we can find some super cheap deals for Triple B&E. Labor Day hours, because it's Rachel's birthday weekend, so it's a national holiday basically, so they have to, change their store hours. I am actually happy to have an excuse to pass by the nuts.
Yeah, because normally I'm gonna walk past and pick up a bag of something. Usually they have some beef jerky things over here. So, oh wait, pork rinds. Are any of these like clean enough to eat on BB&E?
Just the plain old ones are fried pork skin, salt, and natural smoked flavor. So I would say yes.
So if there's no oil listed, that means they're fried in their own oil.
Which is good. That's actually a benefit, right? Ugh. Okay, so here's the spicy, which I think would be something a lot of people would grab. Fried pork skins, salt, maltodextrin, yeast extract, onion powder, dextrose, spices, torula yeast.
So that one's
powder.
a no.
So this is going to be a no, even though it's just spicy.
Here we go. So here's all the beef jerky snacks. How many of these are clean?
Let's see.
We're looking for meat and spices, no sugar.
Yeah, I see. So this is the Zero Sugar Sims brand. This is going to be the Aldi brand. It's got beef and pork, pork broth, salt, flavorings, celery powder, caraway seed, garlic, and the casing that's colored with caramel and carmine. But I would say fine on this one. Okay, this one's got brown sugar, so I'm going to say no on this guy. This one has sugar and corn protein. If you're interested, what makes your steak strip good?
So no.
Corn protein.
How about the Biltong?
Biltong is usually a good one. Beef, natural smoke flavor, vinegar. It says it contains 2% or less of salt, raisin juice, concentrate, and spices.
That's part of the curing process. I would be okay. Now remember, we're supposed to be using this as part of our food.
Right. We're not snacking this month. I'm just trying to give you some grab and go options. But this one, not surprisingly, would be a no.
There's one over here. The Simply Nature. What's in that one?
Simply Nature. Simply Nature. Except for there's beef, water, and sugar, which is not how you find beef in nature, right? There's also organic soy sauce, yeast extract.
That's a no.
So even though it has like very nice, looking packaging, not necessarily simple. Okay, so for mustard, they have here, 99 cents, pretty cheap. Yellow is fine, Dijon would be fine, and spicy brown, I'd skip this one and definitely skip this one.
So the Dijon one, we know it's fine, but just double check in case they change the ingredients. Careful with Dijon, because a lot of times Dijon has sugar in it.
No, water, mustard seed, distilled vinegar, salt, white wine, citric acid, tartaric acid, and turmeric.
Yeah, I'm good with that one, even though it's got the white wine. Okay, over here in the cold cut section, they do have liverwurst. Not the super cleanest ingredients. If you wanted to be a little dirty, I'm going to stay away from this one. This one is pork liver, pork fat, water, potato starch, salt, dextrose, natural flavors, sodium citrate, so not super clean. If I wasn't doing beef, butter, bacon, egg, I would probably eat this. But it does have 3 carbs, but again, there's carbs in liver. But I'm going to stay away from it because of the potato starch and the liver. It's also not beef liver. Coming down here, something to be careful of, crepini. So this crepini, we really like crepini, but this one, it has cauliflower in it. So this one's going to be a no, even though it's got 0 total carbohydrates. But they do have the Egg Life wraps. And so this is the everything but the bagel one. And this is less than 1 carb per serving. I'm okay with it. Again, make indigo nillies with the beef gelatin if you want, but if you want to buy store-bought ones, you're going to be pretty safe with these. And then, of course, the originals, these are 0 carbs. This is going to be your best bet. We're actually going to pick up a pack of these. So a few other things that I found over here. This is going to be a no, even though it's pork. It's going to have some sugar in it. Stay away from all ham. No ham at all. Same thing with like the deli ham. I did find these Wahlburgers, uncured beef hot dogs. I'd probably have these on beef, butter, bacon, and egg, especially if you're on the road. Like we may take something like this when we go driving. It does have less than 2% of cane sugar, natural spices, ground mustard, white pepper, coriander, things like that. But it's 1 carb per hot dog, so I'm pretty good with that. Another thing that I like on the road is these salamis. Again, not beef, but it is pork. The problem with these is this is a bingeable item for me. And so I really will only have this like if we're on the drive and I'm gonna eat this as a meal, because I will absolutely eat this entire package. And it is 1 carb per serving, but there's 8 servings in the whole package. They do have this though, these Simms pork snack sticks, and I'm really, really surprised by these. Sugar-free, and listen to these ingredients: pork, water, salt, spices, paprika, natural flavors, sodium nitrates. That's it. So there's a stick, the whole stick is a serving, and it's gonna be, ready for this, 160 calories. If you eat the whole package, it's 470, 11 grams of fat, 13 grams of protein, so we're pretty close to 1-to-1, a little bit less fat, and less than 1 carb per stick. So if you eat the whole pack, figure 3 servings. Again, we're looking mostly for beef, but we're okay with pork so long as it's pretty clean and higher in fat.
Okay, so we're over here in the refrigerated section, and we're seeing a lot of dextrose and other sugars in the breakfast sausages, even the plain. This one too, when you're getting into like the bratwursts, you gotta be careful. They add a lot of sugar to these. What we do see over here in Aldi's is this ground pork. This stuff is excellent. We get
really
this
clean
all of the time, and it's super, super clean.
We got them special last year. We bought like 100 of them because they were 50% off.
Ingredients, ground pork.
And
that's it.
It's 80-20, so it is like right there on a 1-to-1. So that's really good, especially if you mix it with ground beef.
Yes. Okay, so this is our section. Basically, everything here is something that we can turn into a delicious meal, including this ground bison. It looks like there's just 1 more pack left, and we're gonna snatch it.
$7.99, not too bad. A lot of times we come over here and we look for the special meat.
Yeah, there'll be stickers on these guys.
Now, they have one down here with a sticker, but don't be misled by that sticker. That's not a special.
No.
It's just 10 for 10 patties, but it's not really a special thing. But this meat, even here, this Never Ending up here, this Simply Nature, really clean. It's probably green wash, probably coming from like Australia or New Zealand, but it's still better than, you know, buying CAFO meat. Also, by the way, don't be tricked by this gimmick right here. That's a gimmick. We don't have that in any of our stuff. So, but unfortunately, no other special meat, and there's no ground lamb either.
No, I did find this with the pantry items. They've got bacon, pretty decent. You know, it's not the best top shelf bacon, but it's a grab and go option. It's already cooked, and if you're on the road, this is really great because all you need is a microwave to heat it up. Okay, so if you're like us and you're looking for meat on the cheap, this is the door to open. This is all of the frozen meat, and it's really, you know, good. Got some good deals in here, although don't be hesitant to go look at the refrigerated section, because sometimes the deals are even better on the chubs we find there. But you can also find frozen patties. Just make sure that they don't have any like weird added ingredients.
They have right there the 75-25. That's like $3.10 a pound for those. Nice and fatty. Also, those unseasoned Black Angus ones are a pretty good deal. And if I remember right, they're very, very clean.
So this is the one you're looking for. They have bacon and cheddar cheese, but we're not getting that this month.
Not on beef, butter, bacon, and egg.
Get this one.
What you got?
Well, I wanted to take a look at the LaCroix. There's a lot of, you know, flavored seltzer waters out there. I would probably avoid them this month just because there's natural flavors and you don't know everything that's in the natural flavors. If you're looking for fun in a drink, I suggest their version of San Pellegrino. It's just some Italian sparkling water if you're just trying to have something different besides regular tap water.
Now, I am going to say, if you want to have the sparkling waters that have the flavors like LaCroix and stuff, you absolutely want to have it. I'm going to tell you, keep it to a meal, treat it like a cup of coffee, do one during a meal. But if you're thirsty throughout the day, water or sparkling water only. You can also check out our video on how to modify a soda stream, and then you don't have to pay the ridiculous price for San Pellegrino. Okay, let's check out the refrigerated hot dogs over here. These here are some of the cleanest hot dogs I've ever seen. These are the Simply Nature Uncured beef hot dogs. And the ingredients in this are beef, water, 2% or less of sea salt, mustard, organic paprika, celery juice. It does have cane sugar as the last ingredient, but it is 1 carb per hot dog. They have to, though, be careful with these. Uncured Angus. You hear uncured and you're thinking like, oh, really good. The first ingredient is beef. The second ingredient is corn syrup. So absolutely no to these. Same thing with all of these. They have all kinds of fillers and stuff. So if you really want hot dogs, these are pretty clean. A touch of sugar, but again, 1 carb. Okay, let's get into bacon.
Bacon.
We love bacon. They have lots of bacon here at Aldi. This is honestly the one that we like to get when we come here, just because we like thick cut bacon, although we don't need to because we bought 10 pounds at Fresh Market. Now they do have a little bit of sugar in this one, but I'm okay with it. It still comes out to 0 carbs per serving, and it's a reasonable serving. A serving is a slice, but these are really big, thick slices. So even if you figure it's a half a carb, 2 slices is 1 carb. If I eat the entire pack, it's like 4 carbs, whatever it is. I'm good with this. But if you really want super clean bacon, they do have this Never Any Bacon here at Aldi. It's $6.45. I'm not a big fan of it because number 1, I don't like thin sliced bacon, and number 2, I just like the other kind better. But the ingredients on this one, if you're looking for really clean, pork, water, sea salt, 2% or less of cultured celery powder. That is it. That's this. You're not going to get a cleaner bacon than this unless you make your own following our recipe that's up here.
Okay, so we're here at the butter cabinet, and there's all kinds of great butter. We like salted butter. Some people don't like salted butter, but we do enjoy it. We also add Redmond to our salted butter, so we love that. But they have like the Kerrygold wannabe over here. We'll leave a link for our Great Butter Showdown because different butters have different tastes to them, but this is a great place to get value butter. Now, all butters are not created the same, especially when it comes to whipped butter. So if you get this butter, the pure Irish butter in this form, totally awesome. If you get it in the spreadable, you're gonna find in the ingredients, it's butter, canola oil, water, and salt. So you wanna skip this and get this.
Okay, let's talk eggs. The eggs are the one place I'm going to tell you do not skimp. Skimp on anything else. Get lower quality bacon, lower quality beef. Where you want to put your money is in your eggs because all of the nutrition in the eggs is completely bioavailable in your body, especially the vitamin D. If you're getting your eggs from chickens that are outside, you're getting a lot more nutrients. So it's really important. Don't skimp on the eggs, and the cost difference is not as much as you think it is. First of all, you used to get 99 cents a dozen eggs. The cheapo eggs here at Aldi, the cheapo eggs, they're $3.10 a dozen. So you really want to skip these. It's really not going to be as good. Now, if you can't afford anything else, this is better than nothing, but you really want to skip them. But let's move on to some of the other ones that they have. This is one of the biggest scams you can have. Cage-free, don't worry about it. And here's the thing, they're only 15 cents or more, and it's still not worth it because all it is they're not like in a cage, but they're still not outside. So there's really no difference in the quality of the nutrients or anything in these eggs. Then you have these free range eggs. These free range eggs are $3.60 a dozen. Still not really worth it. Free range just means they are supposed to have access to outside. Doesn't mean they're going outside. It means they have access to outside. So not really worth the extra money. So here's where you're gonna go. Best quality they have here in Aldi are pasture raised, which means the chickens are outside. They're eating bugs and stuff. They are given supplemental feed, but so are my backyard chickens. That's the best ones they have here. And here's the thing, they're only $4.80 here. So it's like $1.80 more than the El Cheapo eggs. And I know even if it's double, let's say the eggs are $7 a dozen compared to $2, when you look at the nutrition you're getting, I promise you, it is worth it. It's not that much money. I mean, even at $6 a dozen, it's 50 cents an egg. If you ate 2 dozen eggs a day, you get all of your nutrition. Now, if you can't afford these, here's the next best. So you're gonna buy the cheapo, these, or the next best is organic. I don't care that they're cage-free. They don't have to be cage-free, but if you get organic, at least they're being fed good quality feed and they're not being injected with all kinds of hormones and steroids and everything else. So you want to have either the El Cheapo, if that's all you can afford. The best ones are going to be pasture raised or organic. That's the middle of the road one. Here's another thing you're going to have to be really careful about. They don't really have bone broth here. This broth has all kinds of sugar and stuff in there, so you want to stay away from that, as well as the beef stock. This beef broth right here is probably the cleanest thing they have, and we're looking at beef stock and then a little bit of carrot and stuff. So I'm okay with that. You're still looking at 0 total carbs. If you have the entire thing, maybe you have 1 to 2 carbs from the carrots and stuff, but I wouldn't worry about it if you want to have a little bit of a broth with your beef.
Here's a nice option for on the road, although you need to bring like a wash rag or something to hose yourself down with. But I enjoy these little chorizos, and there's no sugar in them, which is kind of amazing. I was looking to see, okay, how bad are they? But not as bad as I expected. 1 total carb per little hot dog, but I'm telling you, this like coloring will get all over your hands. The good thing about this challenge is my shopping is pretty much done. I just get to shop the outer aisle of the grocery store and don't worry about everything going down these aisles, except for bath rugs. You may want to see some bath mats. Okay, so we checked down like the specialty aisle, and I wanted to point out there's a lot of German mustards because Oktoberfest is on the way. However, this guy has sugar in it, so be careful. Make sure you're checking the ingredients because all mustards are not created equally. Now, it looks like we didn't get much, but definitely enough to get us started today. So we've got some ground bison, some butter. We're getting the Egg Life wraps. We're gonna try these pork snack sticks because they look really interesting. The beef Wahlburgers hot dogs, and 3 dozen of these pasture-raised eggs. Okay, so we actually saved a lot of money, not just the quarter that we got back from our shopping cart, but we save a lot of money because we're keeping it simple. Usually we buy a lot of the special buys, you know, whatever the meat or cheeses that they have on sale, but this week it's just keeping it simple, and it also keeps my grocery bill low.
Now, we do have a whole bunch of beef in the freezer. I really came here for the lamb, but even their beef prices, they're not so bad here. Okay, we're gonna do some meal prepping because the next couple days are gonna be super busy. So if I can just cut some of the stuff that needs to be done out now, it'll make it a little bit easier. Tomorrow I have a football game, a varsity game. Saturday is Rachel's birthday, and then Sunday we may be going to Orlando for Rachel's birthday. We really haven't decided yet, but let me show you what we're gonna start with today. So I've got a whole bunch of bacon. I have no idea how much. I just put it all in this pan. We're going to put it in the oven. And what I do is I learned this trick from Chris. You twist it, which allows you to fit more bacon on the pan, and it also gets it nice and crispy. So I set the oven at 325 degrees, and we're going to put it in there until it's not super crispy, but pretty well done where it is edible. Okay, next we're going to come over here, and we're going to make some hard-boiled eggs in the pressure cooker. So I've got a dozen eggs here, these pasture-raised ones they got at Aldi. I use these instead of the backyard chicken eggs because they're easy to peel. And then I've got this little silicone trivet. I got this on Amazon. I'll leave a link for it down below. And what's nice about it is it makes it super easy to get the eggs out. So we're just going to go ahead and put a dozen eggs in here. And I'm probably going to do 2 dozen. So we're going to do a dozen and then do another dozen after this batch is done. Okay, so I got the eggs in here. We fold the trivet in. Go ahead and put this on. We're going to put it to pressure cook. And then what I do is 3 minutes. And then we're going to do like 3 to 4 minutes of a slow release and then into cold water. Now, while all that is going, we're going to come over here to the electric Blackstone. I've got about 5 slices of bacon that we're just going to cook. I kind of chopped it up a little bit. We're going to let that render down, and then we're going to do a whole bunch of ground beef and pork. Okay, we got the bacon down to about where we want because it's going to keep cooking. We're going to put a pound of ground pork in here. And this is a 90-10 ground pork. A pound of ground bison in here. And then we're going to do a pound of ground beef. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook all of this down, mix it all up, add a little bit of seasoning. Okay, cook them for 3 minutes, 5-minute slow release. We're going to go ahead and open that back up. And we'll go ahead and open it up the rest of the way. Grab our trivet. That's why I love this thing. Gonna lose one there. Put it right to the middle. So we lift it up, Bring it over. Dump it in our ice bath. Now we'll let those cool down a little bit. Now back over here to the ground meat mixture, we're gonna go ahead and add some of this real salt Wasatch steak seasoning. This I don't think is available yet. I picked it up when I was in Omaha. We're gonna put a little bit of this on here and then a whole bunch of Redmond salt. If you're curious, I'm probably adding, I don't know, about 3 teaspoons of salt. We're gonna go ahead and mix that up a little bit and let this cook down. Okay, part of our dinner tonight is gonna be an experiment I had the other day. These are some meatballs that I made. It is a combination of ground lamb, ground beef, and ground pork. And then I put some pork rinds in it, and then we wrapped them in bacon so you can see what they look like. We had a few the other day. I warmed them up in the sous vide just so that the whole inside doesn't overcook. And now we're gonna stick them in the air fryer to crisp up this bacon a little bit. So go ahead and open up the air fryer. Put these in here. Let them go for 360 degrees for probably about 6 or 7 minutes. Back over to our ground beef. And we're gonna take some good old-fashioned yellow mustard. Put a bunch of it in there. And then we're gonna give this a good mix and it's done. Our bacon is done in here. Pull that out, there we go. Look at that, perfect. We're gonna go ahead and give this meat mixture. I can't really call it ground beef because it's bison and beef and pork. I'm gonna get a little bit of the pork, a little bit of the ground beef. Perfect. The salt is perfect. The mustard brings a nice flavor. Makes it almost like a McDonald's kind of hamburger. I really like it like this. So now we have a 3-pound mixture of ground meat. This is great. We could make like a taco kind of thing. We could just eat it with a bunch of eggs, put it inside of egg life wraps, whatever you want. Sometimes we just like to take a bowl of the mix of ground meat. We put a bunch of butter on top of it or the butter mayo, and we have it whenever we want. Speaking of which, I'm gonna make some butter mayo now. So unfortunately, can't make butter mayo today because the eggs that I had on the counter coming up to room temperature, somebody put them back in the fridge. So we're just gonna make the butter mayo tomorrow. We'll do without it tonight. In the meantime, I'm gonna meal prep some eggs. So here's how I like to do this. I've got a silicone muffin pan, and I'm literally just gonna crack eggs into each one of these. This is why I don't use our backyard eggs to make hard-boiled eggs, because the shells are like super hard. I'm gonna put a little bit of Redmond inside of them. I don't measure this out at all. A little bit of pepper in each one. And we're gonna cook them at 325 degrees till they're done, about 10 minutes or so. Look at that. Perfect.
What you got going on here? We got a little McDonald's.
We got some eggs there. Look at that. Perfect meal prep of eggs.
I think I should try one.
Why not? Go ahead.
Quality control. Does it just pop? Oh, that's nice. Just pop out. I'm gonna have to get a fork.
Okay. I was gonna spray it with avocado oil, but I decided that, you know, it wouldn't hurt it, but at the same point.
Popped out just fine.
Look at that.
It is totally the McDonald's egg and an egg McMuffin. Twisty Bacon.
I know you love your Twisty Bacon.
Rhonda Clark had some Twisty Bacon in a picture that she put up today, and I was like, I want me some Twisty Bacon too. So thanks for making that happen.
I love like when you get the bacon that's got all of that bacon grease on it.
Oh yeah. This is looking good. I'm ready for some more foodies.
So good. And when we were in Omaha, we learned from Holly, if you cook the bacon in an oven on aluminum foil,
oh, that's good.
And you want to get rid of that bacon grease that's on the aluminum foil, like you want to throw it out. I don't know why you want to throw it out, but I mean, we were traveling, so we weren't going to.
You don't want to bathe in it?
But what she does is you put the whole pan into the refrigerator for a couple minutes. Now the bacon grease solidifies. And then you can throw it out. You can just wrap up the aluminum foil, throw it out. Or, again, if you want to save it, it's a great way to make it where you don't have to try to pour it out of that pan. So we're gonna go ahead and
This is delicious.
we're having lamb balls.
Lamb balls.
Look at that.
It's like that Chevy Chase movie.
And then what you do is you put a little bit of mustard on it.
Wow, that looks fantastic inside.
And when I did it, what I did was when I made them, I took like a little bit of pork rind grounds inside along with an egg. But then I also just took some pork rinds that were kind of old and stale, and I just crushed them in my hand. So they were little pieces. And then, so now you got a little bit of texture inside of there.
Those are some delicious balls, Joe. The texture of the balls, the entire inside. These balls are flavor packed. Flavor packed.
It's really good. So we got that. We got eggs, bacon. I was making butter mayo, and I had 4 eggs on the counter. And one of the kids, I guess, like eggs on the counter.
Used them?
No. They weren't in the basket. I was trying to get them to room temperature, and I think they put them back in the fridge thinking, like, why are these eggs just sitting here on the counter, you know?
And I helped. They were helping.
They were helping. But we're going to finish eating because we have our live stream.
Tonight.
It has been a jam-packed day. We released 3 videos.
People are going to get sick of our face.
We made up for the video that we didn't release 2 days ago. And we filmed stuff and worked on podcasts, and we ate a meal prep. So we've got about 3 pounds of this mixture, this meat mixture. So the meat mixture,
I hope you like it,
is ground beef, ground pork, ground bison, all mixed together with some of that new Redmond seasoning, which I really hope they come out with it soon.
Me too.
And then I put mustard inside of it to give it that like McDonald's burger kind of taste.
It has a great flavor to it.
And then, I mean, this is perfect. Like, how can you complain about this? Now, by the way, when you figure out the cost of all this, take out the lamb balls, because first of all, it was special meat that we had bought like a long time ago in the
special balls.
But if you just look at the beef mixture, that's 3 pounds of beef mixture. We bought the bison, which is a more expensive ruminant animal. That was like $7.69 a pound. The pork, that was special meat for us too, but regular price is like $4 for the pound. And then ground beef was from our cow, but again, like $4 a pound. So for all of that, you're talking about what, like $15 for 3 pounds of meat mixture. That's a lot.
And here's the thing, as much as today was very busy, guess what? I bet tomorrow won't be much less busy.
I got a game tomorrow.
It's really nice that we now have this prep. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to be like, hey, what do you want to eat? I don't know what you want to eat. We're going to have this
ground beef,
prepped and ready to go.
There's bacon, there's eggs, there's hard-boiled eggs already made up, so we can make like an egg salad with the bacon mayo.
I really enjoy.
We can make some deviled eggs. So there is a lot of different things that you can have. It doesn't have to be plain. I mean, beef, butter, bacon, egg can be plain, where you can literally just have ground beef or steak, or it could, you know, be a little bit fancier, mixing a bunch of the meats together, adding the bacon in there, all those different things. So we're going to end this vlog right here. If you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent video that I'm going to put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.